Hey there, everybody, and welcome to this edition of Harris's Heroes. Our March of Icons continues. We are joined this week by someone who is very special to me and is very special, obviously, to a lot of people across the country, maybe even around the globe. I don't want to shortchange her. You're looking here as you tune in this time around to the one, the only, the fabulous Charrisse Jackson-Jordan of the Real Housewives of Potomac. Charrisse, I got to thank you for giving me a little bit of your time because I know you got so many different things going on. You never sit still.
I always sit still for you.
And you're sitting still in the infamous champagne room. We've got to talk a bit about that, okay? Let before we get into that. I mean, we're gonna get into a lot of stuff today, but I want to start with the Real Housewives of Potomac. Okay, the first time I talked to you about it, you said this was generally your idea, and I've had a lot of people tell me that you were the one who came up with this idea. Is that true?
Was it Housewives is already a franchise, but when they
Hmm.
first came to the area, they came to me first. And I wasn't interested. I was just like, oh no, because our area is very conservative and all of
Uh
that.
huh. And
Just
there aren't
doing
very many of us around here.
exactly. And also just the work that we both do in terms of the community, which is also
Hmm.
very conservative. Um,
Hmm.
I just didn't feel like it would be a good match. Um, So I said, I'll help you cast it. So I casted the ladies that are on the show. And then in the process,
Okay.
they were like, could you reconsider and be on the show? And I was just like, I don't know. I don't know. And then I talked to my then husband about it. And he wasn't a fan of me doing it. And he said, if you do it, we'll probably get a divorce. And I was like,
Mm.
what?
Are
Like,
you serious? Really?
yeah. So that's when I really realized how bad my marriage was. So I was like,
Oh.
okay, yeah. So I was like, okay, do I take this opportunity to do this or
Mhm.
do I not take it? And eventually this guy decides to leave, because I gave up my career and everything for his job because he
Uh,
coached in the NBA. And so we traveled a lot. So it was hard for me to maintain. I used to sell pharmaceuticals. So I had to give up my job to pursue
uh-huh.
his job. Yeah. So I just said, you know what? I'm just going to go ahead and do it. So I did it.
Well, I can kind of understand. Well, I can see it from both sides. First of all, I commend you for believing in yourself and investing in yourself and taking that leap with that challenge.
Hmm.
Where he comes from with this concern is kind of like something that we talked about here in this house at the time when the idea of the show came out.
Hmm.
Because for folks who don't know about Potomac, Potomac is a very well-to-do, very Tony zip code and area code here now, and there aren't very many black folks out here. And
Right.
so when the show idea was getting floated, was out and actually came out, my kids were coming home saying that people were asking them at school, "Is that your mom? Is your mom one of them?" And it kind of hit us that whatever happens on that show is going to reflect on the handful of black folks who do live out here, which was
Yeah.
something that which was something that you had to consider going in, which means that you were representing
Yeah.
and a community, whether you knew it or not,
Right. Right. No,
and that was
exactly.
something that, yeah, and that was something that was of some concern. But at the same time, we are cheering on any black folks who want to do something for themselves, and anybody out there who's willing to believe in themselves the way that you did. We're cheering you on. So you know what, you had our support all
Thank you. I mean, it didn't
along. Hmm.
quite pan out for me, the way I envisioned it. You know,
Yeah,
not
because you've
that
been on and off with them.
yeah, so I started out full time. Now I just come back and play around and leave and come back and play around and leave because I don't want to be that girl that's just arguing and being very toxic because it is
Uh-huh.
a toxic business. I just want to be the fun girl, you
Well,
know?
that's what the show was all about. That's what works with that kind of television, which is the reason why I didn't believe it when people told me that you were going to be involved with it. Because I said, Charrisse that I know isn't. She's
All
not
right.
into all that kind of controversy and toxicity and all that garbage that so many folks buy into. That sells. It
No,
sells online and it sells on TV.
yeah, I should have taken acting classes maybe, and I could have pretended. I don't know, but it's just not my thing to just like fight, and I can't hurt people,
Uh-huh.
so a lot of that requires you to, cause turmoil in somebody's life, and
Yeah.
that I'm just not made for that. But if someone tries to
Mm.
cause turmoil in my life, I'm good at
No,
bonding.
no. Yeah, then the gloves are off. Yeah,
Then
there you
because
go.
to
Now,
initiate it, I'm not. I'm not good at that at all.
all right. Well, then let me ask you then, since you talk about taking acting classes, how much of all that stuff is real, and how much of it is just ginned up just to make ratings?
You know, it it varies. I only know from my own experience. I different franchises are different. And I will
Mm-hmm.
say, for example, Atlanta. I had hung out with those girls, and those girls, the way that they are on TV, and I'm talking
Mm-hmm.
about old Atlanta, like when Nene and all those girls were on, that's who they were in real life. Like without cameras and with cameras. It was consistent. They were
uh,
hilarious. I enjoyed hanging out with them. Potomac is a little different because Potomac has characters, like they're
uh,
the way that they are on TV in real life,
uh,
So
uh,
it's not scripted. It's not
uh,
scripted where, they write a script, but they're playing into roles.
uh,
Just like
uh.
you live in Potomac. Did you ever hear of Karen Huger before the show?
No, but I did know her
Right.
husband from the golf course. He and
Great.
I we were friendly from over at Avon at the TPC. I didn't
But
know anything about her.
right, she's a character. She's the Grand Dame of Potomac. Like nobody in Potomac knows her. Like, what are you talking about? So it's
Go to
just
go
like
from zero to Grand Dame. That's a heck of a leap. Yeah.
exactly, exactly. So it was just it was funny to me. So it's like the characters. I didn't have a character. I didn't, I thought my personality was enough, but clearly,
Yeah. Well, for most
clearly
of us, it is.
it's not. Yes, I just want to be fun champagne girl. No, that's not
Uh,
enough drama.
no, you
I
want to
mean,
be like you want to be like the perfect grandparents. You just get to pick up the kids, play with them, mess them up, and
and
send them
then
home.
send 'em back. Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
That's what
Hey,
I
well,
am now.
okay. Well, speaking of being the champagne girl, you are sitting in the world famous now champagne room.
Well, actually,
Um.
it's not the one from the show though, because I
Oh,
moved.
okay.
Yeah, I moved.
Ah,
I took stuff, some of the furniture from my original champagne, but that room
okay.
I had custom design, so a lot of it was
Uh-huh.
still there because it's like fixed to the walls and all that stuff. But
Uh-huh.
you have the furniture, some of the furniture from it. Like I had a built-in cooler made. It was nice. I missed that
I
room. That's the
saw
only
it.
room I
I
found.
saw it.
Yeah,
Hmm.
but
Yeah.
it's the only room I missed. I have a version of that here, but it's still
Uh-huh.
not the same. But it
Okay. Well,
I
then what are you going to do with it? You can't get something like that and not do something with it. And I know you're not going to disappear from being in front of the camera somehow, some way. What do you got planned? You got something in the books or in the
I'm
works rather?
I have a podcast, Conversations in the Champagne Room, and I talk about a little bit about champagne. I talk about overcoming obstacles, which I've been through a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I've been through a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. Um, in terms of the champagne, though, eventually I would like my own label. It's
Ah,
something researching. I've been
ah,
researching for a while, actually. But
ah.
what I want is very pricey because I want a good champagne, a
Yes,
very good
yes,
champagne.
as you would, as you would.
So I've had a couple offers to do like sparkling wine and things like that. But I'm like, no, no, no. I want it to be delicious. So
Uh,
yeah.
well, to a lot of folks looking from the outside in, your life so far has been pretty delicious. But as you
Yeah.
know, it doesn't get that way. It doesn't get that way without some work. So
Uh,
tell me about it.
well, I mean, it looks are deceiving sometimes. I have a good poker face.
Yeah,
Um, I just turned 60 a few days ago,
and looking
and
good.
thank you. And
Black don't crack, and you're proving it. Love it.
I'm like, but part of me was like, oh my God, a new decade. But when I look back at my 50s, it was the worst period of my life. So the 60s should be great. Like 50s, I went through divorce. I was doing a reality show that I actually put a lot of my energy into putting together. And, not to say I wasn't good enough for the show, but you kind of fall like, you're not what they want. And
Yeah,
like, when you put your heart into something and it sort of gets taken from you.
yeah.
Um, so that was a
That
little
hurts.
it's very hurtful. So I lost my marriage I lost my marriage because, well, it wasn't because I did a show, but the show kind of pushed it to move faster. So
Mhm.
I put my marriage on a line to do a show that eventually, the people who said they were going to support me did
Uh,
not. It was all said and done. So, it's like that was disappointing. I've had a lot of losses in my 50s. Like so much things were stolen from me. It's just
like, what
it's
do you
just been
mean?
like, I got scammed recently,
Oh,
financials. Oh, yeah.
no.
Yes, yes,
Get out of here.
yes, I got scammed, and I usually don't fall into that stuff with
Uh-huh.
anything, like, I don't trust anything, like, I don't click on anything, so,
Uh-huh.
um, one of my
Yeah,
friends that I trusted talked to me about this, and at first I was like, "Oh, that doesn't sound right," and then she's just like, "Oh, no, 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 I'm doing it," and she's telling me about her
uh,
success, person that
uh-huh.
I totally trust, like, I've known this woman for 30 years,
Uh-huh.
um and it ended up being a scam. So I lost a lot of money that I could not afford to lose. And
Ouch.
yeah, so, dealing with that. And so, like, even like right now, I'm literally, I call it a transitional period at
Mhm.
60, like trying to figure out my
Uh,
life. Like, what am I going to do now? Like,
yeah, yeah,
so
yeah.
yeah, it's been a challenge, but I wear a good poker face.
You're proof of what I say, what I believe in, and what I it is my own personal mantra in life, and is that things like that happen. You have a life like that. You have a year like that. And you say you have a decade like that. And you get to where you are and you say, so what? That happened. So
Mhm.
now what do I do? So what? So now. And winners, survivors have that in them, and I see that in you. That you're standing after a whole lot of a lot of bad stuff has been thrown at you, and people abandoning you. And I got to tell you, I personally have been through the same thing about, working, doing something, and then getting told that, you're not it anymore. You're losing, the support and people who, I don't know, just sort of, you feel rejected, you feel left out there, or you feel, and something that you had your identity tied up into. And
Mhm.
if you suddenly have that yanked from you, you can feel lost, and you
Right.
can you can be adrift, and you can sit around and wallow and feel sorry for yourself, but you can also, like I said, just say, so what? Find a way to get through it and figure your next thing out, and obviously that's what you're doing, and I applaud you for that.
Thank you. Thank you.
So what
Yeah.
is it you want to do next?
So right now I'm considering real estate because I think I would be great at it.
Okay. Well, you got the personality for it, that's for sure.
Like
You can
real
you can
estate.
like I say, you can sell salt to a slug.
Yeah, that's the direction I think I'm gonna go into real estate.
Ah,
I the way you and I met was through philanthropy. We
uh-huh.
were always doing the same, like I was always
Same events.
there and you were the
Uh-huh.
host. And
Uh-huh.
of so many great things here in DC. And so my passion is actually philanthropy. And
Really?
so
Why?
yeah, it just makes me feel good. Like it when I went to South Africa along with the NBA and Habitat for Humanity, where I sponsored a home,
Uh-huh.
and it was the most
Oh,
rewarding feeling.
wow.
But
Yeah.
to be where people had absolutely nothing.
Nothing.
And they were so proud. They were even like the kids, they were so ambitious. Everyone wanted to be a doctor, a lawyer. And I'm
Yeah.
like, how come my people aren't thinking like that in the States? And these people
Yeah.
are still amongst, they didn't have plumbing. And there's
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
literally urine and feces running at your feet. And these people were
Yeah.
just so proud. So it just made me put life in perspective,
Hmm.
because even what I'm going through right now, even though it's I say it's the lowest period of my life. I think
Mm.
about people in the village. I think
Yeah.
about those people and it inspires me, but in terms of the philanthropy, it makes me
Mhm.
feel so good. I wanted to back in years ago and I still want to be this person. This is gonna sound silly, but
Yeah.
I always wanted to be the Black Mother Teresa. Like
No, that's not silly. That
I
that's
know,
an honorable ambition to have.
in my heart, that's what I want. I want to be able to do things on a big level. Like I love Oprah Winfrey because she was able to do so much with her her platform, and she
Uh,
touched so many lives. So like a Oprah, but the Black Mother Teresa.
that's it.
I want to
That's
be able to give back on a larger level.
Yeah. Well, the thing about life that I've learned is that if you identify that that's what you want, you set that off as your long term thing. That's the icon that you got set in the way ahead of you or in the back of your mind. You make the little decisions along the way, whether you know it or not, that are going to get you there. So
Yeah.
how do you get to a position where you can be the Black Mother Teresa?
Well, good question. Because I was en route with it. And let me tell
Uh
you,
huh.
I've had every job I wanted to have. I used to teach because I wanted to be a teacher. I
Uh
used
huh.
to sell pharmaceuticals because I wanted to sell pharmaceuticals. I've
Uh
done different things, everything. I've never been turned down from anything I wanted to do. But then I found myself where my ex didn't want me to work, okay,
huh.
which was really
Uh
weird for me. I love working. And so what I did was turned my time into charity, which I always thought
huh.
was my purpose anyway. So now I was
Uh
able to work. And like I used to be president of the National Basketball Wives Association. We raised
huh.
millions of dollars for charity. I'm able to now make my full-time job, even though I wasn't getting paid for it, a fundraiser for nonprofits. So I've raised funds
Uh
for other organizations. But now I'm not in the financial place that I used to be because now I have to work because I know I got to take care of myself. Like right now, the only thing I can do at the moment is volunteer with my church, all the various organizations still here in the DC area. I'll work with them. But ultimately, I want to have my own, which it's coming.
I
It's
believe
coming.
it. I wouldn't bet
Yeah.
against you. I wouldn't bet against you. Anybody who and this is something I was shocked to find out, and I don't know if anybody else knows about this, but anybody who's got the nerve, the guts, the fortitude to stand on a stage and try stand up comedy has got to has has got whatever it takes to do whatever they want. Is that true? Did you really do that?
I did. Wait, Leon, let me tell you. Here we go. Charity. So it was a competition, and it was in New York at the, oh, what is the name of it? It's a big comedy club in New York. Oh my God. Anyway, so it was a competition for charity. So I ended up being the headliner.
Oh
And the,
no!
yeah. And so my thing I had gotten it was only supposed to be like 15 minutes to stand up. My thing was
Uh,
like 30 minutes, right? So I get to the
a lot.
place, they were like, I said, don't worry, I'm gonna cut it up before I come back, right? Because I had to do a walkthrough. And the people at the place were like, no, Caroline's in New York. They were like, no,
Caroline's that's a
Caroline.
that's one of the
Yeah.
biggest. Yeah.
They were like, no, use all of it. I said, okay. And let me tell you, Leon, they laughed the whole time. The people, they laughed the whole time.
That's
I took,
funny.
but wait, I took my show on the road. I did it in Maryland. It worked. Yeah, it worked.
Where
And
did
then
you come up with this material?
I worked, they had, when I was doing the charity thing, they aligned you with a comedian. So I had a
Uh,
comedian. So I'm writing my material and then I would, tell him about it. And
uh,
then, offer suggestions or whatever. He was like, you should really do this, right? And I'm like, yeah, no. But wait, Leon, the funny thing was, I really
uh.
thought maybe I could do this thing. So I, my hometown of all places where I'm like, you're gonna hometown, they love me. I had hecklers in my hometown, and I didn't
Oh,
know what to do. I
uh,
didn't know what to do. I was like, I literally was like, okay, I have nothing else, and I left the stage.
you didn't want.
I have not returned to do comedy after that. I was like,
Oh
and
my
even
God.
spoke to me and
Oh,
said,
that's hilarious.
everyone has those moments. You got to learn from them. I'm like, yeah, nah, I'm good.
No, you did what they call you're getting high on your own supply. You did it. You said, okay, I got this. No, you find
Exactly.
out what it's hard for. I mean, the pros. I have nothing but mad respect for these guys that go out there and just take on whatever happens. Oh, that's a heck of that's a real skill.
Yeah, I'm not built like that, obviously. I was like, what?
Oh my God!
It
But
took
you
me
live and
out.
you learn.
Yeah, I was lost. I was like, okay, I was a deer in headlights. I said, I'm out here.
But
I
see,
even looked at
that's
one
what.
of my friends. I looked at one of my friends. I said, help.
Oh, it's
Me.
funny. Uh, but you know what? That's something that's a trait that's going to serve you well, and it already has. being willing to do anything like that, take a chance on yourself, and put yourself in tough situations and find out how tough you really are to walk through it and
Exactly.
come out on the other side. My hat's off to you. There's no way in hell you could get me to do that. No way in hell. I've had some funny moments, but they've happened by accident. But no trying to plan something out like that. God bless
Yeah.
you. Huh.
Yeah, I
Well,
won't be doing that.
since you've been through all of that and so much, you said it before we got started that this summer has been a real challenge for you. There's a lot of folks out there who are dealing with challenges. How do you deal with all the things you've got, that all these headwinds that you're battling?
I go to church. I go to this church, Kingdom Fellowship. It's in Calverton. And
Yes.
and I've gone to church all my life, but this church is like the most loving place. Like as soon as you could feel the love in the
Mhm.
space. The pastor is amazing. And
Mhm.
so I literally like there's sometimes I have to go there because I need to be there because it
Mhm.
me get through because I get stressed out. Like I mean
Yeah.
stressed, because you
Yeah.
start worrying about things. So that going there helps me to keep myself balanced.
Yeah. Yeah. Finding a
Yeah.
spiritual center, finding
Yeah.
your spiritual center somehow, somewhere that really does guide you through moments like this. And
Yeah.
good for you. Good for you. Well, let me ask you a question that we ask everybody. Okay, because you don't get to where you are by accident and without the help of other people. So tell me, what was the best piece of advice you've ever got,
Oh,
and who
try
gave it
to.
to you?
Well, wasn't person someone personally gave it to me, but I went to Oprah Winfrey's Living Your Life Best tour. It was at
Mm-hmm.
the convention center in DC.
Mm-hmm.
And she said, and it made so much sense, surround yourself with people who are smarter than you. Like it was a
Mm-hmm.
key to success
Yeah.
or people that have more than you.
Yeah.
And when she said it, I was like, that's profound, right? But as I've gone through life now,
Mm-hmm.
she's right because like I literally even going through what I've gone through, divorce and you know, unsuccessful. I call it unsuccessful reality career. Those I lost a lot of very
No,
no, but I'm just
that,
saying.
that no, I hate to interrupt because you're giving a beautiful answer, but why? I mean, you have gotten yourself in the minds and hearts of people in a positive way around the country. People love you, okay, for
No,
what
they
you've done.
do.
You've helped
I mean,
launch a franchise that's made money for a lot of people and changed fortunes.
yeah,
Why
not
would
me.
you turn? Well, not yet. Hey, your story's not over yet. Your relationship with Bravo is kind of come again, on again, off again. So who knows? We don't know where you're going to pop up next. You probably don't know where you're going to pop up next. So
You're
why
right.
would you think of that as something as a
I know.
negative?
Yeah, you're right. I shouldn't have said it. It could because honestly,
Huh.
I look at this experience. It's been amazing actually because, I've met so many people who have gone through a lot of things and they look and at first I'm like the poster child for divorce at one point. People were coming up to me. I was like, wait a minute. I don't want to be the poster child for divorce. I'm not telling everybody, no, 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 stay home, keep your marriage. Like I'm not like don't get divorced because of me. Like crazy. But I had so many people that have come in my life,
uh,
and talk just strangers on the street. And it provides you with a platform where you are able to touch a lot of lives.
mhm.
And just the love, like you get, I mean,
Yeah.
I love love. So anytime I get
Yeah.
some love, I'm happy. So the
Yeah.
love that you get from it, people just come, random people just come up to you and like, oh my God, I love you. And I'm like, oh,
Uh-huh. Yeah.
so that feels good.
Yeah.
And it does provide opportunities you know, that I may have not ordinarily had the opportunity to do,
Mhm. Yeah.
So I don't regret doing the show. I
Yeah.
am a little disappointed with how it worked in my favor so far.
Uh-huh.
But you're right.
Uh-huh.
Something else could happen down the
Yeah.
road. But yeah.
No, there's enough. There's an appetite out there for more of you. When I told a handful of folks that I was going to be talking to you, every single one was like, "Oh, I'm watching this. I'm watching this. I want to hear." That girl is something else. I'm watching that. I'm watching. So there's an appetite out there for more of Charrisse. A lot of folks are pulling for you, and that's one of the benefits. That's the plus side of living your life in public the way that you chose to do. And that was
Yeah.
a heck of a choice because you saw the what was in the balance, the risks that you were going to be running by doing that, and you did it, and you're still standing. And
Yeah.
that's something I'm telling you, I truly applaud you for that.
Yeah. The thing that stayed in my head also was just being a Black woman. I didn't want to be a negative stereotype of Black women. I was
Yeah,
also I have a daughter, so
yeah,
and children, and I didn't want to embarrass them. I didn't want
uh
to, because I'm their role model, my kid's
yeah,
role model,
yeah,
so I was always conscientious of my children. When I first was going through divorce and everything, people wanted me to dog out my husband, but
yeah,
that was my children, so
yeah, yeah.
my job is to make sure that they're healthy and happy and thriving. He doesn't even watch reality TV, so he's not going to
Oh,
be
is
affected,
that right?
you know.
You won't
And
let him?
no, I'm talking about the ex. He doesn't watch it,
Oh,
but
I thought you were
the
talking
kids,
about your son. Oh,
oh,
okay.
yeah, he watches it actually.
Really?
Yeah, they have to go to school and, all that. So why would
Uh,
I'm not gonna drag their dad, not
Good
even
for
on my
you.
worst day. There's some days I might have wanted to, but
Yeah, but you didn't need that car. You didn't need that car.
no, I did not. I did not. Yeah, but
Oh,
I mean, it's had a great effect. I do not have any regrets.
and you know what? Neither do we. The rest of us who are sitting on the sidelines just cheering you on. We are just so happy to see that you're happy and you've got new things you're working on and that you're not going away. We're going to be seeing and hearing more from you and your new champagne room. Once
Right.
again, that's your new podcast. Go ahead and give your podcast a plug. It is called
Conversations in the Champagne Room with Charisse.
Conversation Champagne. Where can we find you?
It's on everything.
Everything.
On it's on everything. It's on Spotify, it's on iHeart, it's on all the platforms where
Okay.
listen to your podcast.
All right, good deal. On the way out, anybody you would suggest we go after next as a guest here?
Ooh, let's see. Okay.
Hmm.
This person fascinates me and I don't know her personally. Dominique Dawes. She's doing a lot of great things right now. She
She's
just
amazing.
Yeah, and she recently I read where she bought a football team with somebody. I mean,
Really?
yes.
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
Okay. I've done a
somebody.
few events a few charity events with her,
Yeah,
and gotten to know her. Genuine person, real
yeah.
genuine human being. Good people, really good people.
And I'm only saying that because I reached out to her for my podcast, but I didn't hear
Oh,
anything. You might have a better chance.
well, let's work on her from both sides. Okay, we can
So
work
when
on her from
you
both.
get her, right, you get her, you send her over to me, okay?
You got it. You got it. All right, everybody. Now you know why we love her so much. Charrisse Jackson-Jordan. God, it's so good to see you.
It was
Take care,
so
my.
good to see you.
All right, my friend. Take
You must
care, and I
have
will
your
see you in the village. All right.
Okay. All right.
All right.
Take care.
Take care.